face new me, but not really. It's the same old me. I don't know if wearing AirPods means you can hear me better because I don't really want to shout too much, but because I have other people living with me, I know I have at least one friend, which is crazy, but I'm starting uni soon. Well, I've already had my like orientation week, but I'm actually gonna start uni soon. So I thought I wanted to like give a little reflection of how my lockdown period has been, so that it can help other people maybe, or like it could help make people feel better about themselves because they did more than me. You know, my pain is here to benefit you guys in numerous amounts of ways. So hopefully this is one of them. But yeah, I wanted to give a little, like, I wanted to give myself a little self-reflection of what I've been doing over lockdown, how I felt, because there have definitely been a lot of ups, too many downs, and I think like this lockdown period definitely was more than just stay at home, be safe, wear your mask. It was more like psychological. A lot of interesting things happened, be it good, bad. But I think like the silver lining in all of this is, I think this is like something that was meant to happen. We need bad things in order to realize that we need to wake up, and I think this year has taught us that. So I'm going to take that as my silver lining out of all of this. But going from a global level to a more personal level, I've learned a lot of things about myself during lockdown and how broken I am on the inside after lockdown. But I think this can also help me in the future, not just bettering myself, but I feel like I'm also able to relate with other people more in terms of like emotions and the range of emotions people can have. Thinking about it, that kind of sounds like I'm like some emotionless human being. I'm not, but I think before lockdown I wasn't ready to reflect on my own emotions and genuinely see like there's a difference between knowing that you're sad and truly understanding why you are sad. And I think those kind of things really would help you guys as well. So yeah, I've written stuff in my journal. I keep journals. This is like my third or fourth journal. If you guys want to see what's in my journal, that would be a good video too. I'm saying you guys, but so far only 8 people have viewed my YouTube channel, and I have no subscribers and no comments. So if anybody else wants to see it, please subscribe and like. If you don't, that's okay. This is mainly just like a project for me to be more extrovert and actually go for and try new things without feeling bad. Having said that, I haven't told anybody I'm doing like this kind of project, which, you know, kind of may be defeating the purpose, but I don't care. We're not here for that. We're here to figure out what my lockdown has been like. And yes, I tried to condense it all down into 1.5 pages. There has been more than just this, but I don't want this to be a 20-minute video. It probably will be. So I'm going to say, I don't want this to be like a 30-minute video. But anyway, let's get into it. So I just wanted to say, I've probably felt the lowest I've ever had during lockdown, which is like a big statement, but I think so. I don't know if that's because I was genuinely lower than other points, or if it was because I like had nowhere to relieve my anxieties or negative feelings. It was all just bottled up in me. Having said that, I did, you know, talk to other people like my parents and my friends and things like that. But you know, there's a difference between seeing different people every day and like letting little bits out of yourself and just staying inside all the time and like talking to people occasionally or thinking about other like bad things happening in the world while you're trying to realize what's happening in yourself. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I was feeling. I did feel better towards the end as I tried to like tell myself to get back on track of my life, and just like getting ready for uni really helped, and you know, trying to see it as a new start and not being afraid to do things such as this. But I don't want other people to know I'm doing this, so not yet anyway, because I have a fear of failure. We'll get to that in some other time. We've got too much to talk about. So my first like proper topic, I've split it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've split into 5 things. If you want to, I'll like timestamp them or something. If you want to like skip into ones that you're particularly interested in. But my 5 topics are mental health and well-being, my physical health and fitness, my studies, my creative projects and how I get busy over lockdown, and moving forward what I'm trying to do. Oh yeah, before all of that, prefacing that I'm going into my second year of medicine in London. So it's like kind of scary for me, but I'm excited. And I think that's all I want to really tell you guys right now. So if that's not enough, I'm sorry. So my mental health and well-being, it wasn't great at all. I had too much pressure during lockdown. Not pressure from other people, but pressure within myself. It's like when you have so much free time, you feel like you have to do something productive every single day in order to prove to yourself that this lockdown is going to be like the time you make yourself better or make yourself known, like become really proficient in something. And that pressure was a lot to handle for me. Like before I left my uni just before lockdown, I thought I was gonna do a bunch of different projects and study like loads and get everything done and be like, I thought I would be like, you know those Instagram posts where it says like, do you want to get a 6-pack and speaking French and get top grades and get the woman you want? That's basically what I was thinking. But not everything happened, or pretty much none of it happened. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure, and I feel like a lot of people feel like that during lockdown, or just during any free time, even like summer holidays, especially if you're in an environment where everybody's doing better than you, or even like nowadays you see people like Kylie Jenner, Charlie D'Amelio, people who are like 16 to 20 years old, who are incredibly rich and have their own businesses, and you think, oh, that's what I aspire to be. But then you forget that Kylie Jenner was in this huge Kardashian like family and has like an amount of wealth beforehand. You forget all about that. You just think, oh my god, they're so young. Or like maybe like James Charles would be a better reference. James Charles, or like these young entrepreneurs who know how to make it big, quick, and in an effective way, and they're like killing it at the top of their game. And you think like, I'm 19, my life is over already because I'm not there yet. And during like lockdown, that kind of pressure increases even more because you're like, I don't have any excuses. I can't say, oh, I'm too busy doing schoolwork, or I'm too busy doing uni, or I'm too busy meeting friends, because you're literally at home all the time. So you have to do something. Now, there's like a yin and yang to it. You need to think of that, but you also need to realize that it's okay if you're feeling down some days and you can't do anything. It's okay to relax. I wasn't like that. My pressure of doing stuff made me so like mentally crippled that I couldn't actually do anything physically, but that turned into a vicious cycle of me not doing anything, made me want to put more pressure on myself, and that led me to not doing anything again, and it's like a vicious cycle, and we can't have it like that, and that's what I've realised. Secondly, I felt like no one appreciated my efforts in anything, mainly because like if something happened, if I posted something on Instagram, or if I tried to tell my friends, oh, let's do this together, or even if I like drew something myself and I showed someone and they said, "Oh, I really like it." In my head, I was like, "Oh, you told like this other person the same thing, and like you're not genuine about it, are you?" But like they probably were. I was just too busy in my head thinking nobody appreciated me. And I think like sometimes you know when somebody doesn't appreciate you. Other times maybe they do appreciate you, but it's not enough. And finally, you're too in your head to realize that people are appreciating you. And I think it's not very cut and dry. Like there's a mixture of everything in everybody's life, and you need to figure out which people are the people who are in that category. And it made me think about that a lot. But yeah, I just wanted to put that in. I did talk a lot with my family, obviously, and I went out with my friends when lockdown restrictions started easing a bit. But I realized I couldn't like physically go and meet my friends or talk to them even on like Discord or Skype for like more than like once or twice a week. Like my head couldn't handle like social contact after like 2 weeks of being alone. I realized like it's just too jarring for me to go out every day of the week. And even like when I've come back to uni, I realized that like I get really jealous of people who go back every day of the week and I see on their Instagrams or their Snapchat stories, them going to like different restaurants or going to different touristy things. But in reality, if somebody asked me every day to do that, I couldn't physically do that. So I have this like weird like I'm jealous of people doing things, but if somebody asked me, I wouldn't do it. It's like I want to be asked to go to a party so I can say no. That's basically what. And that's really toxic, and we shouldn't do that. We should just realize what category we fit in, and like be content with ourselves. Like I don't know if that makes sense. A lot of this probably doesn't make sense, but I hope you guys understand how I'm feeling. Maybe someone else is feeling the same way. But yeah, one good thing about all of this lockdown stuff was that I was able to be more open towards people, even like people who are really close. Usually I don't really open up my own life. I love asking other people questions, not really telling them about how I feel on the inside. I usually like cover that up with humor or just not talking about it at all. But now I've realized like there are ways to talk about it in a way that doesn't make you seem overbearing to other people or like you're bragging. You know, there's sometimes that thing of like people going like, "Oh, I have anxiety," and all that, and that's a cool thing. I didn't want people to think like that, especially since I'm not diagnosed with anything. I feel like I'm just like a normal person going through normal emotions, and if I start talking to people about how I felt, I feel like people might think that I'm trying to make it seem worse than it is, which I'm trying not to. I'm definitely not trying to. But at the same time, it's okay to talk to other people without having a condition to your name or something that makes your emotions valid, because it's already valid because you're feeling it, and it's okay to tell other people. At least then they can help you manage your emotions, or you can just pick and choose like what other people are feeling as well. So like always try and open up to more people. That's something I'm going to try and do more, like as my next academic year goes on. Moving on to my physical health and fitness, there were ups and downs, but they were generally up compared to mental health. My physical health was doing a lot better. I did eat healthy, but I binged a lot during the night, partly due to like mental health and well-being, all of that. I binged so much at night, especially when I was sad or I still had exams at the beginning of lockdown, so a lot of the times it was like exam stress, definitely a lot of binge eating. But I, at least during lockdown, recognized what I was doing, and that made me improve on it a bit more as lockdown went further. In terms of exercise, I try to work out around 2 hours a day, which sounds to me really small, but I know it's quite really big, if that makes sense, because 2 hours a day, that's like, you have 22 hours of the calculations. You have 22 hours of the week left. So 2 hours is like nothing. But at the same time, you need to factor in your sleeping, your eating, your hanging out with family, doing other things. Especially me being a very like a person who doesn't want to open up. I never used to be the person who told people I was working out. I just wanted people to see the effects of it happening, and I go, it's nothing. I just did it. It's just by myself. But that is not a good mentality. Again, it's okay to tell people you're working out, because what I used to feel was that if my work, like if I people didn't physically see me improving and I told them I'm working out, they might think I'm lying, or they might make fun of me, being like, oh, he says he's working out but he's still a fatty. And I didn't like that thought, but now I realise, it's okay to tell people you're working out. And I did say that. I know that's like a very tiny thing, but to me it's a very big thing. Like before, I used to work out in my room and not even tell my parents I was working out. Now I actually work out in the living room while my parents are cooking next door. Like, who is he? I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to plug in some of my fitness gurus during lockdown. Joe Wicks, rep up the UK. I loved Bully Juice. I still do his workouts. Jordan Yo Fitness, love him. I also tried the Chloe Ting challenge about 10 times, and I actually completed it by the end after like repeating 10 times. Oh, that's another thing. These like challenges. If I like failed one day, I would like go back to the start and do it, because I used to think, oh, if I failed, that means and carried on after I failed, like completed the course, my fitness wouldn't be as optimum as if I started again. So I did that with the Chloe Ting challenge for like 10 times, but then I realised, whatever, and that really helped. I also cycled to see my friends a lot, and I ran occasionally. I think you can see the results, especially on my arms somewhat, but I still have a long way to go. But I'm not going to think about it like that. I'm just going to think about it like maintaining health and fitness, trying to eat healthy as well. Okay, number 3, my studies. Like I said, I do medicine, and I still had to do exams online, and those were exams that actually counted. Like, I could fail. That had a lot of stress to me. But the exams were in June, so I had time to afterwards to like have time off and be happy. But again, I'm one of those people who after the exam is not happy until I see the results. I'm still like nervous as hell, which I need to try and like not think about it like that. But that's what happened. But thankfully I passed. But I feel like I still need to find an efficient revision method. I revise quite a lot, but I don't think I'm revising in the right way. I need to be more efficient with myself. Need to not compare myself to the person who's top. Your goal shouldn't be to be number 1. It should be to be really good at your subject so that you are number 1. Like, being number 1 should be your end goal, or like a side effect to what you're doing. After my exams, I tried to study in advance for university. Being of Asian descent, I don't know if you can tell. There's a very like, my parents or like Asian parents usually will say, okay, you've passed your exams now, start revising for second year. My parents do the same. They're nice enough to not be like, oh, if you don't start revising for second year, we'll shank you. They don't say that, so that's good. But I think it is a good thing to like revise for the next year, especially if you want to do well in your exams. It's like a good thing. We shouldn't be hating on that, as long as you're doing it in a healthy way. I did about 5 lectures between June and September, which is something. But I know people who like literally finished the whole year's course during lockdown, and that like affected my mental health again. But I tried not comparing myself to them. Like I said, it takes forever for me to learn. Like, people might think, oh, you're doing medicine, oh, you must be smart. Well, like, that doesn't negate it being for taking forever me to learn anything. Like, even if you gave me like something menial, it'll still take me forever to learn, but I'm trying to improve that. Okay, part 4, creative projects and how I kept busy. Now this is my favorite part because I did a lot of things. But even though I did a lot of things, I constantly felt like I didn't, like, those things meant nothing because they weren't like physically important, if that makes sense. Okay, I'll tell you what I did. I made a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. I wrote for an essay competition, still holding out on that. I cooked a 3-course meal, which you can see in the previous video. 4-course meal. I'm doing med at uni. I should have been spending that time studying more. That's what I was thinking all the time. But like, then I realized that's not a useful way to think of things. Like, it's okay to do like silly things or like have projects where you do silly things because they're probably going to help you in some other way, whether it be for your mental health or like cognitive abilities, or like subliminal things that you might not know right now. So you should never think like that. This also made me feel like I'm one of those people who is a jack of all trades but a master of none. I'm always trying to like, I feel like I don't know what I'm good at, so I do a lot of things to try and figure out what I'm good at, and then try and make that one thing I'm good at, like try and make that into my like career goal. But I still haven't figured out what I'm good at, and that really frustrates me even since I was a kid. Like, that's why I do like everything under the sun, but I never win at competitions or like have people give me recognition for being like extremely good at it. It's like, oh, you're really good at it compared to me, but I don't even try to be good at it. It's like someone who never plays tennis tell you you're an amazing tennis player, and they could never do that. Well, yeah, because you're not doing it. So like, of course I'm better than you, but like that means nothing, if that makes sense. And that's what I was thinking anyway. So yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna be like really good at. But yeah, finally moving forward. It's a new academic year, and I'm gonna try and improve myself. I'm gonna try and have a balanced work-life situation. Try and get more into work than social life. Lockdown helps, but also last year I partied too much. Not like woo party, but like not working. So I used to sleep all the time, go to brunches all the time. Like, our lectures were recorded, so I used to be like, oh, don't need to go to the live one, which everybody does, but I need to try and like actually like do my lectures on time this time. Yeah, and things like that. I need to try and make closer, better friends in my own uni. I feel like I have a really tough time in like getting friends who are like really, really close, because I imagine after our like first 2 conversations would be like best friends forever, and that is not the case. Like, sometimes you have to have with people, other times it takes a while, and that's okay. And you need to put the effort in to open yourself up more, which is really important. And so I need to open myself up more with newer people, so that they can actually get closer with me and we can actually be friends. But yeah, I think that was it. I think I like ran out of everything to say now. I hope that helped someone at least. Like, if they're feeling how I felt, I hope that helped you understand that you're not alone. Maybe if you didn't know how to put stuff into words, maybe this might have helped. If it didn't help, I'm truly sorry, but at the same time, give it a click away ages ago. Why are you listening to me saying sorry now? But yeah, all I want to say to everyone, the best is yet to come.